liar, pants on fire. Yeah. I lied to myself. There were 3 big old lies I told myself, Phil told himself, that got us into debt. Stick around if you want to hear the 3 lies that we told ourselves that got me and my husband into 6 figures worth of debt. Wee, wee. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ange. My husband's name is Phil. He will not be doing a cameo in this video as far as I'm concerned. I know, I'm sad about it too. And my channel is all about documenting our journey to becoming debt-free. I came up with this video idea a few weeks ago, and it was because I was trying to justify the cost of something, and I go, oh my gosh, Ange, you are doing exactly what you did that got us into so much debt. And I'm not saying we too, like Phil also, I heard Phil say these things, I heard myself say these things when we were just married, and I mean, so anyway, so these are the 3 things. These are the 3 big lies. We told ourselves multiple little lies, but these are the 3 big lies that we told ourselves that got us into debt. So if you are in debt, you might relate. If you're trying to pay off debt, you might relate. And if you catch yourself saying these things, you might relate. Lie number 1, YOLO, otherwise known as you only live once. Okay, technically this is not a lie. Technically it's not a lie because you do only live once. Phil and I would continuously say this to each other. Well, you only live once. Can't take it with you. When else are we going to be able to experience this? And honestly, this lie is like the most convincing of all the lies. Like of all the lies you can tell yourself to justify doing something, you only have one life to live. You can live that life paycheck to paycheck, stressed about money, constantly worried that your family member is going to get sick and you don't know what's going to happen, constantly worried about those co-pays going to the doctor's office, constantly worried about bill collections, constantly worried about when's the next shoe going to drop, when's our car going to break down. I don't want to live my life like that. I don't want the YOLO mentality. I don't want it to be constantly broke all the time and stressed out about money and stressed out about how we're going to pay our bills next month, or having just enough money to pay our bills and then all of a sudden something unexpected happens. Yeah, YOLO doesn't sound too good, does it? Does it? Versus the YOLO of debt freedom. Oh my gosh, all of our bills are paid for the month and then some. We have money in the bank. Oh wow, we can afford, we're cash flowing this vacation and I can actually enjoy it knowing that it's already paid for and not a dime of it has to be put onto a credit card. Yeah. Have savings for if something unexpected happens medically with a family member. Our dog has to go to the vet and those costs we have in the bank. We don't have to stress out about. I can sleep better at night. No bill collectors are calling. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. We have a roof over our head. Our house is paid for. We have retirement. We can actually retire at a decent age and not have to work until our last breath. I don't know. Like to me, the YOLO of, it may not be as sexy, but debt freedom YOLO seems a lot better than being buried up to your eyeballs, stressed out in debt YOLO. Oh, you guys, Phil and I YOLO'd and we YOLO'd and we YOLO'd. We YOLO'd to Mexico on credit cards, we YOLO'd. We YOLO'd to Hawaii on credit cards, we YOLO'd. We YOLO'd our honeymoon. You only live once. You only go on a honeymoon once, you know, unless you're like Jennifer Lopez. But see, she can afford to YOLO. I'm not judging her, because when you have that kind of money, it's like, bye. Dude, if I had that kind of money and I asked my husband to take out the trash and he was like, no, I'd be like, YOLO, I'm out. Just kidding. I love him. Phil and I got married back in, I know, we're old, in 2008. And we actually had a really frugal wedding, especially for as big of a wedding as it was. We had about 80 to 90 people at the ceremony and then about 150 at the reception. So considering that, and I would consider that a fairly big wedding, but this is also before social media, like big time social media, like the Instagrams and the Pinterest. And ours was just very like, I don't know. I just came up with ideas in my head and I was like, how can we do this frugally? Well, then our honeymoon came along, which was like, what, 2 days later. And we went to the Oregon coast, and it was awesome because it was off season. So everything was like half off. But we did not budget out for a honeymoon at all. This was before we had pets, before we had a house, before we had kids. So we just could like just take off and go. Like we just needed to request time off from work. So we could just take off and go. And we YOLO'd our way all the way down the Oregon coast on a credit card. So literally within 2 days of being married, we were accruing credit card debt. YOLO. Yes, you only live once. That is true. But it also is a huge lie that you can tell yourself to get yourself into debt if you don't already have that money in the dang bank to do what you want to do. If you are like, hey, I want to YOLO, but I got to put on a credit card, that should be a no-go. No-go. If you have the money, then YOLO. If you have no debt, YOLO. But if you got debt to pay off, a no-go. Line number 2, we told ourselves all the time was that how hard we work and that we deserve it. Whether it came to vacations we couldn't afford, whether it came to restaurants, like constantly, like Phil and I, there was a point where we were going out 5 times a week. I'm not even kidding, to either meet friends for drinks. Oh God, those were the good old days. To go out and eat dinner. You better believe we had appetizer, entree, dessert. We would go out to movies. We'd have the movie theater popcorn. We'd have the soft pretzel. We'd get the candy. We'd get the large soda. Oh, you guys, but we work hard. We deserve it. Yes, we do. No, we don't. We had food at home. And we were eating out constantly all the time. And it was so frustrating. And I kept going, how are we running out of money? How are we doing this? How are we running out of money? Why is this happening? And then I looked and I'm like, oh my God, we are spending $1,500 a month on restaurants, on bars, on eating out, on going out to movies, on doing pretty much anything that wasn't at home. But you guys, we worked hard. We deserved it. No, we didn't. You know what we deserved? You know what we really deserved? And again, this was like 10 years ago, 10, 11, 12 years ago, is we deserved to live below our means. We deserved to put all that money that we were putting towards eating out to retirement, to a nest egg, so we wouldn't be in the position that we are now. That's what we deserved. If I could go back in time and slap the crap out of my former self, I would. I'd be like, you need to wake up. You need to see that this is awesome, that you guys are both making money, that you're in a good position to get out of the little debt you're in now so you don't get into more debt later. And you're in a great position to start putting away a lot more money to retirement. So you can actually retire not at 65, but maybe even at 55, maybe even at 50. But no, you wanted to eat your beautiful little entrees and appetizers and go to fancy restaurants and split $30 bottles of wine. How dare you? You deserve more than that. Anyway, can't go back in time. It sucks. Want to. I really want to go back in time, but you can't. So we're learning now in our 30s, which at least we have this amount of time, you know, at least it's not too late. And I don't think it's too late at all for anyone. Even if you're in your 40s and 50s and 60s, it's not too late. It just, you know, but the thing with financial freedom is time really is on your side. And the more time you have, financially, you'll be in a better spot. And God, but we did enjoy our 20s. Oh Lord, we enjoyed them. But we work hard, we deserve it was the second huge lie we told to ourselves. And never again. We do work hard and we do deserve a lot of great things. What we deserve is retirement, to retire, to pay off this house someday, to pay off all of our debt. That's what we deserve. To be able to sleep better at night. to know where our money's going, to actually keep some of our money for once instead of just dispersing it to random lenders. That's what we deserve. Yeah. The third lie that we told ourselves that got us into debt is, well, we can afford the payments, so we can afford it. We can afford this car and that car and this house and that. That sofa right there, those tires, ba, ba, ba. That was a huge lie that we told ourselves, that I think a lot of people tell themselves. They go, hey, okay, $400 a month for this, $300 a month for this. No, you can't afford it. If you don't have cash, I'm at the point now where I'm like, if you do not have cash, you cannot afford it. I hate debt. I hate monthly bills. I hate it all. A big lie is if you can afford the payments, then you can afford it. I am here to tell you that that is not true, because our cars, like our car payments, and I'm going to get yelled at again for saying this, because every time I talk about our car payments, people are like, whoa, your car payments are outrageous. Phil's is $400 a month and mine's almost $500 a month. My car's almost paid off though. So that will be huge when that happens. There's a lot of reasons why we have kept our cars. We've thought about going down to one car. Anyway, but those were just 3 lies. There's many more lies that Phil and I told ourselves that got us into debt. If you have any lies, if you're in debt or paying off debt and you would constantly tell yourself something, let me know in the comments below. I love reading that. If you have any questions about this video, also let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And while you're down there, if you haven't yet, please subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss my weekly uploads. I promise I'm not this angry most of the time. Most of the time I'm okay. I'm okay. But this, how Phil and I got into debt just irks me. It makes me so mad. Thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope to see you. I hope I didn't scare you off if you're new. I hope I didn't scare you off. And I hope to see you next time. Bye.